Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Craig at 1996 Entertainment once again, and it is now time for yet another updated movie collection video here on the channel. It's been about a while since I've shown a collection of my updated movies. This time around, we're going to go ahead and do my updated Columbia Tristar home video VHS tapes, and some of these may include releases from Columbia Tristar home video. Some of them may not, but they have the movies. But some of these different video companies have movies released by Columbia Pictures and Tristar Pictures. Anyways, let's go ahead. Really? Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. I might just charge this battery. Anyways, the first movie we have is Punchline, starring Tom Hanks and John Goodman. This is a Fogwood indie production from 1988. This is a film released in 1988 by Columbia Pictures, but the VHS itself was released in 1989. I have seen this film only once, but this is a very, very funny film. And this is a movie I'm going to have to go ahead and sit down and watch once again, once I get the time. But this is Punchline. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get started once again with where I started off earlier. This is The Karate Kid, starring Ralph Macchio, Elizabeth Shue, and Noriyuki Pat Morita. This movie is a very, very fun film. I have seen this film before, and it's very good. And of course, this is one of those tapes that was re-released under Columbia Tristar name in 1984. Of course, my copy is an Avon label, so I can only assume this is only released in the box is a Boredom logo, the FBI warning screen, and the film's Columbia Pictures logo. Of course, there's a Columbia Pictures logo right there. And the print date is April 14th, 1995. So this would have been 4 years before my sister came into the world. But anyway, that is The Karate Kid on VHS. And the next film we have is a James L. Brooks film. Jack Nicholson, Helen Hunt, and Greg Kinnear star in As Good as It Gets, a comedy from the heart that goes for the throat. 7 1997 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture, Best Actor, Jack Nicholson, Best Actress, Helen Hunt, Best Supporting Actor, Greg Kinnear, and Best Screenplay by Mark Andrus and James L. Brooks. Of course, James L. Brooks is the guy who developed The Simpsons along with Matt Groening and Sam Simon. God rest Sam Simon's soul, by the way. Everybody pretty much knows about this film. It's everyone's favorite film. Golden Globe winner for Best Picture, Musical or Comedy, and Best Actor Jack Nicholson, and Best Actress Helen Hunt. Let's go ahead and show off the tape. And there is no print date here. Okay, the next movie we have is not in a slipcover, but we have a Tristar Pictures film released by Huron Communications Media Home Entertainment. This is Bat 21, starring Danny Glover. Of course, here's the tape itself, and there's a bottom sticker label, no print date. So, I have seen this film only once, so I'll have to go back and sit down and watch this one again. See what I really think of the film. Anyways, on to our next film. Our next film we have is Billy Crystal and Daniel Daniel Stern and Bruno Kirby starring in City Slickers. Funny, funny film. Very funny film. Of course, while this film is a New Line Home Video release, this film is released by Columbia Pictures. This is a very, very funny film. I love this film. And is there a print date? Well, I don't think you can really see the print date, but the print date on here is May 24th, 1993. And there is the sticker label on the tape. And that is City Slickers. Fun film. Go ahead and check it out if you haven't already. Okay, our next film we have is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. This is a film released by RCA Columbia Pictures. Of course, this is a Columbia Pictures, or Tristar Pictures, movie collection. RCA Columbia Pictures home video. They came, they saw, they cowabunged, says Jane Blackford of the Journal, and better than the first 10. Better than the first, A10, says the Washington Post. Okay, now this film was a film also released by Golden Harvest, a Chinese or Japanese country. I have no idea which movie company Golden Harvest precisely is, but this film was mainly released by New Line Cinema, but home video releases were given to RCA Columbia Pictures Home Video and New Line Home Video. Here's the tape itself. And the print date is... June 28th, 1991. Alright, the next film we have is John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd in Neighbors, a comic smash. Belushi and Aykroyd are at it again, and the results are uproarious. Of course, John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd also starred in The Blues Brothers together. It's a movie from 1980. And I think this film came out a year later. Released by Good Times Home Video in 1988. And released in 1981 by Columbia Pictures Industries. This film is a very, very funny film. They were funny in The Blues Brothers, and they're funny here too. Anyway, John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd are at it again, but this time they're on the opposite side of the fence. The backyard fence, that is. And the results are uproarious. Earl Keese is slightly overweight, fairly average guy who is approaching middle age. He leads a reasonably comfortable life with his family in their suburban home. Until the house next door is bought by a truly odd couple. Vic and Ramona, played by Kathy Moriarty, who quickly proceed to drive Earl crazy. Vic's lunatic behavior has Earl running in circles, while Ramona's coarse seductiveness leaves him panting. In short, Earl's tranquil life is suddenly turned upside down. If it's laughs you want, these are Neighbors to look in on. Yeah, if you say so. This film is rated R, and this is definitely a funny film. Certainly a funny film, I can say that much. A sticker label, and there is no printing on here. Alright, we're going to take a look at our next film here. This one is Bugsy. This film I have actually not seen. I have not seen this since I first bought it back in God knows how long, so... Here's the tape itself. I only did the opening to this on my alternate account, so... I have no idea what to say of this movie, because I haven't seen it. Anywho, our next film we have is Jerry Maguire, starring Tom Cruise, Cuba Gooding Jr., and Teresa Randall, among other among other people. And Renee Zellweger and Jonathan Lipnicki. I think that's how you say his name. He was from Stuart Little, which I will get to in a much later. This is a very, very beautiful film to look on. Honestly, I think it's kind of... While I do think it's a good film, it is kind of overrated, though. Anyway, that is Jerry Maguire. There is no printing on here. Next film we have is Bad Boys, starring Martin Lawrence, Will Smith, Tristar Randall, Joe Pantoliano, T. Leone. It's an all-star cast of characters here in this 1995 action thriller. What to say about this film? Well, it is Michael Bay's first film to start on. With Michael Bay, with me, when it comes to Michael Bay, he's kind of like my M. Night Shyamalan. Some of his films are really, really good, and some of his films are utter shit. Anyway, that is Bad Boys. Is there anything on the bottom? Yes, there is a print date on here. The print date is June 1st, 1996, so this would have been a day before my cousin came into the world. Anyways, our next film we have is Big Daddy, starring Adam Sandler, Cole and Dylan Sprouse. They're called the Sprouse Twins. You all know the Sprouse Twins. They star in this film. And other big names like Jon Stewart. I have seen this film before, and, well, I don't really get a whole lot of laughs from Adam Sandler movies. I think the biggest laugh I ever really got out of Adam Sandler movies was Happy Gilmore. But that's pretty much it. I haven't really laughed really hardly after this one came out, though. But anyways, I have seen this one. It is pretty good. Anyways, let's get on to the next one. Oh, something ripped off. Anywho, our next film stars the late, great Sean Connery, God rest his soul, Dustin Hoffman, and Matthew Broderick in Family Business. Of course, this is a film released by Tristar Pictures. A terrific trio of actors. Sean Connery is terrific, God rest his soul. As you all know, if you haven't heard already, he passed away in October of last year. Dustin Hoffman is brilliant. Matthew Broderick is wonderful, says Dennis Cunningham of WCBS TV. It's the perfect crime. Put a key card in the lock, get in, get out, and split $1 million. No violence, no guesswork, no cops, no sweat. What could go wrong? I think the better question is, what doesn't go wrong? Hey. Anything could go wrong when it comes to these. Anything could go wrong when it comes to this film. Anywho, this VHS was released in 1990, and this is a 1989 film, rated R. I have seen this film only once, so I have to really go ahead and sit down to really watch it. Alright, on to the next film. Next film we have is Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith in Men in Black. Protecting the Earth from the scum of the universe. Of course, there is the World Trade Center, now extinct. Although there's a new World Trade Center in New York City now. Here's the tape itself. Everybody knows Men in Black. It is an awesome film. Two thumbs up. Absolutely hilarious and remarkably clever and hip, says Gene Siskel of Siskel and Ebert. This film also stars Linda Floriento, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Rip Torn. This is an awesome film. What more can you say? It's Men in Black. Next film we have is Chris Farley in Beverly Hills Ninja. Lively and funny, says Kevin Thomas of the Los Angeles Times. I laughed my head off, says Jeff Craig. He has my name, although his name's his last. And Farley has a flawless talent for physical comedy. It's a kick. Well, of course it's a kick. This is a funny film. Anywho, go ahead and take a look at the tape. And there is no print date here, so might as well put this one back. Okay, on to our next film here. Oh, forgot about this one up here. Why did I forget that one up there? Okay, let's take a look. We have Michael Douglas and Annette Bening in a Rob Reiner film, The American President, also starring Martin Sheen and Michael J. Fox. Of course, this film is from Castle Rock Entertainment. Terrific! When I wasn't laughing, I was smiling, says Roger Ebert of Siskel and Ebert. The best romantic comedy of the year, says Pat Collins of WWR TV Channel 9 in New York City. And of course, this has the Turner logo. I don't know why, but I guess Ted Turner also owned Castle Rock Entertainment at the time. And this is a collaboration film with Universal Pictures. Alright then. I have only seen this film once here. Yeah, about half of the movies that I've seen in this collection are movies that I've pretty much only seen once. Anywho, this is the American President sticker label, the movie sticker label. This VHS was released in 1996, and is there a print date on here? No, there is not. Just a bunch of random jumbled letters. Anywho, that is the American President. Our next film we have is Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan starring in Sleepless in Seattle. Easily the hippest, frankest, and funniest date movie around, says Peter Travers of Rolling Stone. Peter Travers, excuse me. Wonderful, 4 stars, it's smart and engaging, says Marshall Fine of Gannett Newspapers. Well, of course. And this film is also the very first film to feature the new 1993 Tristar Pictures logo that debuted once Sony had bought them back in 1989. Although the bylines wouldn't really take effect until like 1996. Anyways, this is a very, very fun film. Sleepless in Seattle, and the print date, there is no print date here. Almost dropped it. Whew. If that thing landed on my foot, I would have been in trouble. Anyways, here is our next film here. From the writers of Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Starring Jennifer Love Hewitt, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Freddie Prinze Jr., among other actors. Also starring Bridget Wilson and Ryan Phillippe. More laughs and chills than Scream, says Janae Wolf of Janae Wolf's Hollywood. My mom and my aunt used to watch this religiously back when they were young. If you're going to bury the truth, make sure it stays buried. Jennifer Love Hewitt from TV's Party of Five, Fox TV's Party of Five, and Sarah Michelle Gellar from Scream 2 star with Freddie Prinze Jr., Ryan Phillippe, and Johnny Galecki in this terrifying tale of a body that just won't stay dead. After an accident on a winding road, 4 teens make the fatal mistake of dumping their victim's body into the sea. But exactly 1 year later, the dead man returns from his watery grave and he's looking for more than an apology. I Know What You Did Last Summer is a pure fright machine that scares the hell out of you. Well, of course! This VHS was released in 1998. The film, however, was released in 1997. My mom and her sister, my aunt, used to watch this movie a whole hell lot. And there is no printout on here. Alright, here is our next film. The very, very first Sam Raimi Spider-Man! This is my favorite of the trilogy. My very favorite of the trilogy here. Wondrous to behold, says Jack Matthews, New York Daily News. And a bonus contains the music video Hero by Nickelback and the singer nailed back Ryan I have no idea who. Well, yeah, his name is Shad Kroger and Josie Scott of another band. Pure Spun Gold, says George Piniaco of KBC TV Los Angeles. And that's it. This is a very, very fun film. I first got this movie back in December 25th of 2004 when I first owned this one. This is a very good film. Though I can't really say that for Spider-Man 3, or The Amazing Spider-Man 2 for that matter. But that's beside the point. And now we have the sequel to Men in Black. Tommy Lee Jones, Will Smith, and the Pug, of course. In Men in Black 2, Back in Black. Of course. Of course, this is a former Blockbuster rental. This was bought at a Blockbuster on November 2nd, 2003. They are back and better than ever, since Paul Clinton of CNN, and funnier than the first since Joel Siegel of Good Morning America. Yeah, all of the Men in Black films, not counting international, are pretty good. Yeah, sure, this one has lesser laughs than people tend to like Men in Black 2 less than the other two, Men in Black 3. Anywho, that's beside the point. That is Men in Black 2. Here we have, our next movie we have is Demi Moore in Striptease. And of course, this features the unrated version, includes footage not seen in theaters. I have not seen this film, although I have done the opening and closing to this film. Demi is dynamite, says Patrick Stoner of PBS Flicks, and Striptease score, since Stephanie Davis of Movies and Videos. Alright. Erin Grant has lost her job and her daughter in a child custody battle that places her little girl in the hands of an ex-lunatic husband, Daryl. To get the money necessary for an appeal, Erin takes a job at the Eager Beaver, one of the many Miami strip clubs that features a clientele every bit as colorful as the dancers. When Erin's dancing attracts the lustful attention of a deranged U.S. congressman, she'll soon find he'll stop at nothing, even murder, to possess her. Armand Assante and Ving Rhames also star in this bold comedy from the director of Honeymoon in Vegas. God damn. What to say about this film? What can I say about this film? It is fucking crazy. I don't care if it's a comedy. And this is the unrated version. I have seen a lot of crazy shit in these films. And we have a print date of October 29th, 1996 here. So that is Striptease. On to our next film here. Our next film we have is a film starring Sally Field, Dolly Parton, Shirley MacLaine, Daryl Hannah, Olympia Dukakis, and Julia Roberts in Steel Magnolias. This is a film released by Tristar Pictures. An all-star women cast here. Full of life and brimming with laughter, Steel Magnolias, directed by Herbert Ross of The Sunshine Boys, The Goodbye Girl, and The Turning Point, is a warm and witty celebration of friendship, Southern style. Julia Roberts of Mystic Pizza, in an Academy Award-nominated performance, portrays a very young diabetic whose decision to have a baby may cost her her life. Academy Award winner Sally Field, Best Actress Norma Ray, and Places in the Heart, stars as her mother, torn between love and anger. Shirley MacLaine, Academy Award winning Best Actress of Terms of Endearment, Dolly Parton of 5 to 9, and Daryl Hannah of Splash, and Olympia Dukakis of Moonstruck are the four loyal friends who support them in the buoyant humor and unfalling grace. Based on Robert Harling's semi-autobiographical hit play, Steel Magnolias is a tribute to the power of love and laughter. This is a fun film. I'll even admit I even had a little bit of tears in my eyes first time watching this. Do we have a print date? And it looks like we do. The print date is November 12th, 1997. So this would have had to been a much, much later pressing. Which, of course, if I knew the Columbia TriStar Home Video openings very well when it comes to their VHS tapes, they would have to include the Boxes of Boredom logos, the FBI warning screens, the modified screen, if some versions have them, and of course the film's logos. But anyways, back to the video. And now on to the second half. I know I spent a lot of time on the bottom half here. The next film we have is Mel Gibson in The Patriot. 2 thumbs up says Roger Ebert and Joyce Kolak of Roger Ebert and the Movies. God, I have a hard time speaking today. Anywho, I have seen this film with my grandfather before. He is a real old war historian. He used to collect a lot of Civil War. He used to collect a lot of Civil War stuff, including their movies. But this is a very, very fun film. I can't really read the critique, but it says Peter travels a Rolling Stone. This is The Patriot. This was released from a Blockbuster Video by my grandfather, of course, in March 12th of 2001. Also starring the deceased Heath Ledger, the late Heath Ledger, and Jolie Richardson, Jason Isaacs, Chris Cooper, Teshki Cario, that's the guy who played the villain in Bad Boys, Renee Auberjonois, and Tom Wilkinson. Here's the tape itself. And this came from a Blockbuster, of course. Please remember to rewind. If this level is broken, you must purchase the video. Alright. My mom, my grandparents, my aunt, my uncle, they all used to rent from the Blockbuster Video. Not just from Blockbuster, but from Hollywood Video and other video rental stores. Yeah, you'll see how my movie collecting... I got all my movie collecting from them. Okay. Alright, our next film we have is a film directed by Rob Reiner, based on the novel by Stephen King. Screenplay by William Goldman. This is James Caan and Kathy Bates in Misery. Paul Sheldon used to write for a living. Now he's writing to stay alive. 1990 Academy Award winner for Best Actress with Kathy Bates. Of course, this film was released by RCA Columbia Pictures Home Video. However, on my copy, it shows the Columbia Tristar Home Video logo. One of the most heart-stopping psychological thrillers since Alfred Hitchcock, says Joel Siegel of Good Morning America. This is a fun film. Starring James Caan and Kathy Bates. These two are freaking brilliant here. Yeah. If you haven't told already, I really, really like this film. Of course, there's no print date, and let's take a look at the ink label here. Of course, this one was released by Nelson Entertainment. And here is the oldest Columbia Pictures film I have in my collection. Columbia Pictures presents Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert in the 1934 winner of 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Director. It Happened One Night. This is a Frank Capra production, and this is a film by Robert Riskin, written based on the short story by Samuel Hopkins, and this is a 1934 film. Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert team up for laughs as mismatched lovers in this 1934 screwball comedy classic. Spoiled Ellie Andrews escapes from a millionaire father who wants to, played by Walter Connolly, who wants to stop her from marrying a worthless playboy. En route to New York, Ellie gets involved with an out-of-work businessman, Peter Warner. When their bucks breaks down, the bickering couple set off on a madcap hitchhiking expedition. Peter hopes to parlay in the side story of their misadventures into a job, but complications fly when the runaway heiress and brash reporter fall in love. Winner of 5 Academy Awards, It Happened One Night, directed by Frank Capra, was the first movie to be honored with all 4 major Oscars, including Best Picture, Best Actress, Best Actor, and Best Director. This movie was released in 1986 by Columbia Pictures Home Video, RCA Columbia Pictures Home Video, I should say. Here is the tape itself. And of course there's the spine, and of course I had to label the sticker back on because it fell apart. That is weird. Here it says 1987, while on the slip case here, it says 1986. I guess I must have gotten my memory wrong. Yeah, it clearly says 1986, and it clearly says 1987 on the tape. So what the hell? Anywho, that's beside the point. Put the tape back in, please. Might have to put on the other side here. Well, forget it. Our next film we have is Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Phillippe, and Reese Witherspoon in Cruel Intentions. 50% wicked, 50% fun, 100% entertaining, says George Peniaccio of KABC TV. I actually haven't seen this film for myself yet, so I don't actually really know. A wild, daring new spin on the classic tale of love and betrayal. Hey, that almost rhymes! Sarah Michelle Gellar of I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream 2, and TV's Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or I should say the WB's Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Ryan Phillippe of I Know What You Did Last Summer in 54, sizzle a pair of unscrupulous siblings in a deliciously sexy tale of seduction, revenge, and conquest. Yeah, I haven't seen this film yet, so I don't know what to think of it. Anyways, let's take a look at the tape here. This VHS was released in 1999. The film itself was released in 1998. And there is no print date on here. Yeah, apparently this film's too... There we go. Anyways, let's get on to the next tape. James Caan and Billy D. Williams in Brian's Song. The true story of two friends who faced heroic odds. This highly acclaimed winner of 5 Emmy Awards is one of the best loved movies ever made for television. So this is a television movie, okay? It's the true story of a special relationship between two professional football players, Gale Sayers and Brian Piccolo. Both stars play for the Chicago Bears. Sayers and Piccolo soon become roommates and best friends. When Sawyer suffers an injury mid-season, it is Piccolo who prods and inspires him to work toward a complete recovery. Then fate deals a cruel blow. Piccolo is stricken with malignant cancer. The constant support of friendship and Sayers plays an important role in Piccolo's heroic fight against the disease. Also starring Shelley Farbs as Piccolo's loving wife, Brian's Song is a moving and unforgivable film. And it says TVs. I bought this film when it was updated, so I can't really show what is on there right now. But anyways, I forgot to show you the tape here. That is Brian's Song. That is the print date. Yeah, it's showing Columbia Tristar home video, but the artwork is from 1987. The design of this tape. What you'll find on these tapes, you will never know. I don't know. Now it's not even going through. What the hell? There we go. And our next film we have, or our next tape we have, is an animated series here. Spider-Man, the new animated series, Extreme Threat. What to say about this one? This is one of the most depressing depictions of Spider-Man that I have ever freaking seen. At least when you get to the end of the series. Of course, this series was made for music television, or MTV. Of course, it's really not MTV anymore, if it's not featuring music. This features 3 episodes of the MTV television show. Royal Scam, Heroes and Villains, which is the first episode I ever saw this, which is the first episode I ever saw this series back on Kabillion On Demand, way back when, and Flash Memory. Rated TV PG. Of course, this VHS was released in 2005. And it features the Sony Pictures Entertainment sticker label here. But it shows the Columbia Tristar. I have no idea. I might do the opening and closing to this one again soon. Be a dragon. Here is our next tape in the series. From Sesame Workshop and Sony Pictures Television, Columbia Tristar Television Distribution, they should say, this is Dragon Tales. We can solve it together. This is a show I actually grew up watching religiously as a child. This is a show I actually grew up with. Yeah, y'all may hate me for saying that, but it's a show I grew up with. I know Andrew... Yeah, I know some people, including my friend Andrew Choon, absolutely despise the show. We Can Solve It Together features 3 episodes of the show, including The Shapes of Things to Come, Puzzlewood, and Very Berry. Here, the Dragon Tales gang needs to get to the Crystal Cave, but before they can get past the cave's talking door, Crystal, they have a puzzle through a shape-seeking mission. Max, Emmy, and the young dragons get lost. Discover getting lost can be fun when they have to put their heads together to find the way out of the Puzzlewood Forest. And while everyone's picking dragon berries, or get stuck in a hole. That is a funny episode. Honestly, it teaches me... That should teach her not to eat so many dragon berries. Anywho, now the rest of the groove has a big problem to solve. How to help him get him out. Well, here's the simple solution. Don't eat so many dragon berries. Yeah. I may like the show, but I have my cynical attacks to it. So, and it features these songs, Doodly Doo and Wake Up. Look for more exciting Dragon Tales episodes on video and DVD. Collect the whole series. Except the whole series hasn't really been released in its entire form. Seeing how Sony doesn't release their music videos. I mean, you can see most of their music videos in Let's Start a Band Together, but that's about it. Anyways, here is the tape. And that is Dragon Tales, We Can Solve It Together. This is The Bear, starring Teshiki Kiro. This is our next film in the series. This is the 1988 film from Tristar Pictures, The Bear. Or as Jim Cutler, voiceover Jim Cutler would say, The Bear. There's the sticker label. There's a sticker label on the bottom of the tape, too. Alright, let's do it. A once-in-a-lifetime experience is Jeffrey Lyons of Sneak Previews. An action-packed outdoor adventure tale about Yauk, an orphan cub, and the wounded giant grizzly bear who befriends him. Threatened by the sounds of distant gunfire, the 2 bears begin a desperate quest to escape their most feared enemy. Man! Together, they journey across the unspoiled wilderness over treacherous mountains, through the icy rivers in their search for safety. In a powerful climactic final scene, the hunter and the hunted come face to face with each other and their own survival. Yeah, I recently sat down to watch this movie recently, and it's a very, very good film. I know the film won multiple Academy Awards. That's how I know. And here's our next film in the lineup. Matilda. Matilda is a family classic for all generations, says Alan Silverman of Voice of America. This film stars Danny DeVito, Ray Perlman, N. Beth Davids, Pan Ferris, and Mara Wilson. This is a film I absolutely loved watching growing up. Maybe it's because I think maybe it's because I end up watching so many Danny DeVito movies. I don't know what it is with me and Danny DeVito, but for some reason his films always had me pissing my pants with laughter. Anyways, here's the back. Incredibly fun, a great movie for all ages, says Leo Quintoins of KIIS-FM. And of course, Mara Wilson of Mrs. Doubtfire, and Danny DeVito, and Rhea Perlman. And of course, this is a film by Jersey Films. And of course, this film has a print date on it. The print date is January 13th, 1997. So I would have been a year old when this VHS was first printed. Of course, this is a much later pressing, and that is a Avon pressing. Oh, that's right, I haven't even showed the tape yet. Here it is. And now we can put it back. And of course, here is our next film. Columbia Pictures presents A River Runs Through It. Robert Redford has fashioned the masterpiece, says Jim Shadva of CBS Radio. Yeah, everybody pretty much knows about this film as well. I have seen it myself. It's a pretty good film. Of course, this box is ripped up apart. Academy Award winner director Robert Redford of Ordinary People from 1980. From 1980 film Anyway. Captures the majesty of the Montana wilderness and the strength of the American family in this acclaimed adaptation of Norman Maclean's classic autobiography. Craig Sheffer stars as a young Norman, and Brad Pitt also stars as his brother Paul in an irresistible daredevil driven to challenge the world. Growing up, both boys rebel against their stern minister father. While Norman channels his rebellion into writing, Paul descends into a slippery path of self-destruction. Co-starring Tom Skerritt as the Reverend McLean and Emily Lloyd as the wild-hearted Jesse Burns, A River Runs Through It is destined to become a classic. It's a knockout, says Bob Healy of Satellite News Network. This is a great, great film. You should check this one out. It's a fun film. Alright, our next film we have in the series is A League of Their Own, starring Gina Davis, Tom Hanks, and Madonna. I actually grew up with this. This is also a film I grew up watching with my family. Tom Hanks, Gina Davis, and Madonna star in this major league comedy from the team that brought you big. Hanks stars as Jimmy Dugan, a washed-up ball player whose big league days are over. Hired to coach in an All-American Girls Baseball League of 1943, while the male pros are at war. Dugan finds himself drawn back into the game by the heart of it and heroics of his all-girl team. John Lovitz adds a scene-stealing cameo as a sarcastic Sal who recruits Donnie Henson, the baseball dolly with the Babe Ruth swing. Teammates Madonna and Lori Petty and Rosie O'Donnell round out in their roster, taking the team to the World Series. Based on a true story of the pioneer woman who blazed the trail on the fields and off for generations of athletes, A League of Their Own is a home run. This film is also a very, very awesome film. Here is the tape itself. And is there a print date on here? I can't really find it. Oh, I think I see a print date. I think the print date is... I can't really see. Perhaps I need to pull the tape out a little more. Yeah, I can't see Jack. Well, never mind. There is no print date. It's just another tape with jumbled letters. Jumbled numbers, I said. Excuse me. I don't know why I keep saying jumbled. Don't know why I keep saying layers. Anyway, I gotta stop. Our next film we have is a film from Jim Henson Pictures, Rene Russo, in Buddy! Irresistible, this year's babe, says Bonnie Wygant of NBC TV. I have seen this film before. It's alright. It's Jim Henson animatronics for the most part. 4 stars, the first surprise hit of the summer, says Robert Holfer of Buzz Weekly. Rene Russo stars as an eccentric solitude Gertrude Lintz, who adopts a baby gorilla into her already bustling animal menagerie. Along with chimpanzees Maggie and Joe, Buddy gets into all kinds of hilarious monkey business and proceeds to drive everyone bananas. A delightful family adventure based on the remarkable true story featuring amazing effects courtesy of Jim Henson's Creature Shop. Yeah, I knew Jim Henson had something to do with it. You can't help but be won over by Buddy. It's a great kids movie, says Holly Melina of Premiere Magazine. And kids and parents alike will find enchantment in this lively story, says Amy Dawes of Daily News. Alright, here's the tape itself. Why do I have this upside down again? And there's no print date. Alright, the last of our slipcover movies, we have Robin Williams in Jumanji. Or as Robin Williams would say, Jumanji. An exciting, thrilling adventure for the whole family will love, says Barry Kruchnick of Premiere Radio Network. An adventure ride for the entire family. Edge of your seat excitement, says Jim Ferguson of Preview Channel. Well, of course, everybody knows Jumanji. I have seen this movie before. It's an awesome film. This VHS was released in 1996. It's an awesome film. And that's now transitioned into the slipcover, into the clamshell cases. And here are the clamshell sets. So let's get started with the first one over here. The first movie we have is a Columbia Tristar Family Collection version. We have Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Sigourney Weaver in Ghostbusters! Who you gonna call? Everyone, once again, knows about this movie. Of course, there's another... No critique reviews, but this is a very, very awesome movie. I've seen this movie multiple times as a kid. And this movie was back in the days when the MPAA rating PG actually meant something. Although this movie is rated PG on the cover, here on the sticker label it says PG-13. Zoom in a little bit closer, and zoom out of it, and let's put the tape back in. And there's no print date here. Be careful. Gotta be careful with the camera, and... Okay, and let's go ahead and take a look here. This is also from the Columbia Tristar Family Collection. Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver, Harold Ramis, and Rick Moranis in an Ivan Reitman film. This is the sequel to Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2. Honestly, I prefer this one over the original film. I mean, I do love the original Ghostbusters, but I think this one's I think this one is slightly funnier than the first. Of course, this thing did update its sticker label last time I checked. And nothing. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at another film. This is from the co-director of The Lion King, Stuart Little, starring Michael J. Fox as the voice of Stuart. The Little family just got bigger. This is a movie that I really, really loved watching growing up. I've actually owned this VHS since the very first time it ever came out. A family adventure filled with excitement, fun and one absolutely adorable mouse, says George Peniakel of ABC TV. It also stars Hugh Laurie, Gina Davis, Jonathan Lipnicki, and Nathan Lane and it features Nathan Lane as the voice of Snowbell. Fun film. I really like this film a lot. And of course, as usual with Columbia TriStar tapes, they don't usually provide print dates on here. And now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the sequel. Stuart Little 2. Better and more fun than the first, says Joel Siegel of Good Morning America. This is, yeah, all of the Stuart... If we are not counting Stuart Little 3, Call of the Wild, I personally think all the Stuart Little films, except for Call of the Wild, are pretty awesome. I often pretend to believe that Stuart Little 3 didn't exist. Well, that's primarily because I think the film sucks, but... Well, not this film, but Call of the Wild. Anyway, 2 thumbs up, says Ebert and Roper. Stuart Little is back in an all-new, heartwarming comic tale full of action-packed adventure. Featuring all your favorite characters from the first movie and even more incredible visual effects, Stuart Little goes where no mouse has gone before. Of course, this film was released in 2002. As there's no print date. And the spine is blue instead of the usual white. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this next one. Yeah, a lot of the Columbia TriStar clamshells I own are from the family collection itself. Anyways, this movie is The Secret of Roan Inish, Island of the Seals. 2 thumbs up, says Siskel and Ebert, and Roan Inish is pure magic, says Peter Travers of Rolling Stone. I actually have not seen this movie in full. I only seen bits and pieces on this movie, and I've even done the opening and closing to this film. But I'll have to go ahead and sit down to watch it sometime soon. Of course, this film was made by Jones Entertainment Group. Yeah, that left reels from me doing the closing a while back. Of course, this film was released in 1993, and the VHS itself was released in 1995. Alright, coming up next, we have The Babysitter's Club, the movie. Friends Forever. Real friends, real fun, real-life situations. A perfect family film, says Dr. Donald A. Reed of Academy of Family Films. 6.5 years ago, I actually hosted this movie on my very first movie night I did with my friend Aubrey Scott. Back in 2014. April 29th of 2014, that is. Or I think I may have gotten my dates wrong. No, that was actually April 26th. April 26th of 2014 when we both watched this movie together. And this was on a Google Hangout, so... Anyways, The Babysitter's Club is a Little Women for the present day, says Michael H. Price of Philadelphia Daily News. There we go. Here is the tape itself. And that is The Babysitter's Club. I've seen this movie with my friend Aubrey. It is awesome. It is a pretty funny film. Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's go ahead and move on to the next tape. This is Jim Henson Pictures presents Muppets from Space. Space. It's not as deep as you think. The magic is back, says Robin Lazary of LA Times. a great movie for the whole family, says Sandy Newton of CBS/KTVT Dallas. Muppets from Space is a star-studded and close encounter with the far-out fun. Of course. This movie is a really, really fun one. Okay, set it down slightly, make sure. Let me open the tape. These kind of tapes are hard to get open. Okay, that's still going. Here is the tape itself. And there is no print date. This movie was released in the summer of 1999. And of course, this next related Jim Henson picture also came out in the same year, but was released on October 1st. This is the adventures of Elmo in Grouchland. Elmo in his first movie. Also starring Vanessa Williams and Mandy Patinkin, who plays awesomely Huxley, the villain of the film. Join Elmo in his biggest adventure yet, co-starring Vanessa Williams and Mandy Patinkin. I've actually owned this movie since I was a very, very young child, believe it or not. I mean, as soon as I started getting into my 3rd grade year, I actually stopped watching this movie over and over again. As well as stopped watching Sesame Street altogether. Anyways, let's go ahead and put that down and take a look at the tape here. And of course, this is an ink label this time around. Oh, did I just... Oh, yeah, I did. Craig, you numbskull. Well, I'll deal with it later. Actually, I'll go ahead and put it back down and fix it. Why'd I do that? That's better. Alright, let's take a look at the next one. Another Columbia Tristar Family Collection release. In an old house in Paris that was covered with vines, this is Madeline. Based off of the books and the HBO special released back in 1988 by Deke Entertainment. 2 thumbs up, says Siskel and Ebert. Madeline is charming and fast-paced. It even enthralls boys. 12 little girls lived in 2 straight lines. The smallest one, in rain or shine, was the fearless Madeline. Hattie Jones is the heroine of this family comedy based on Ludwig Bethlem's classic book series about a Parisian schoolgirl and her classmates, starring Frances McDormand and Nigel Hawthorne. Madeline is a charming and delightful family film, sure to become as classic as its story, says the Film Advisory Board. And this film was released in 1998 by Tristar Pictures. Of course, this is another one of those hard cases. Here's the tape itself. And there is no print date on here. Both the movie and the VHS were released in 1998. Alright, here is our next film once again. Another one from the family collection. The Indian and the Cupboard. Free Indian cupboard and key included. Yeah, that's only for buying the deluxe edition. Magic, says the Los Angeles Times. And each clamshell package contains cupboard, reverse the paper insert to transform the outer box into a cupboard, the Indian, key, and the video cassette. The Indian in the Cupboard is a touching tale of 9-year-old Omori who magically brings his 3-inch toy little Indian bear to life. Together, they embark on an amazing adventure filled with wonder and excitement. Terrific family entertainment from Melissa Matheson, the screenwriter of E.T. the Extraterrestrial, and director Frank Oz. This is a fun film. This film was also a collaboration movie. Give me a minute, folks. Now, as I was saying, the next movie we have is Jeff Daniels and Anna Paquin in Fly Away Home. This is a very touching little story that I recently saw not so long ago. I do want to apologize for that interruption, by the way. I was getting a Skype call. Anywho, 2 thumbs up, way up, says Siskel and Ebert. Soaring, a hymn to the human spirit, says Richard Schickel of Time magazine. The soaring adventure of a 13-year-old girl and her estranged father who learn what family is all about when they adopt an orphan flock of geese and teach them how to fly. This is a movie that came out in 1996, of course. And, of course, that reaches the end of the tape. Yeah, this is a movie I recently saw not so long ago. And finally, we come to the very last VHS in this entire updated collection of VHS tapes. Columbia Pictures presents The Adventures of Milo and Otis, narrated by Dudley Moore, and an award winner for the Film Board Advisory Incorporated's Award of Excellence. This is another one of those touching films. And of course, there's not really a critique review on here, though I am going to need to speed it up anyway. Here is the tape itself, the very last one for this. Of course, they use the 1989 printing, and there's no printed on here. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes all of my updated Columbia Tristar home video, or my Sony Pictures Home Entertainment VHS preview collection. VHS movie collection. And throughout this entire video, until the next time I do another one of these collection videos, this is Craig S. 1996 Entertainment, signing off and saying so long, everyone.